Video. Hello.
Hey, Elliot, how are you?
I'm good. How about you? Sorry, I'm turning my volume up.
No, you're good. I'm doing the same thing. The same thing.
We're on the same page. Nice
Yeah,
backdrop.
thank you. Yeah, I was trying to figure out what to go with, and I was like, you know what? I think this one's gonna be a good one.
I love it. Wait, I'm gonna. You got me inspired. I'm gonna do this light thing. Fun. Oh, there we go. Does it work? I don't think you can. I can barely think you can see it. Whatever.
No, I can't. This reflection too much.
Yeah, it's not working. Whatever.
Was checking out your stuff on your wall here real quick. Look at that.
Yeah,
Misfits.
we got Misfits. We
That.
got Loser. You can't see it over here. But I have my signed Metallica record. I got Elliott Smith, Kiss, more Metallica, Sunny Day, The Cure, Judas Priest, all
Love it. I
that.
love that jack-o'-lantern too you have.
Yes, yes.
It's on the,
This
yeah.
one is of the YouTube logo, the little Punk People Business
Yeah.
logo.
Yeah, I thought I
Uh,
recognized it. That is really cool. Who made that? Did you do it?
uh, there's someone that we're friends with. His name is Ian, and it's called Ian Pumpkin Carvings. And he's
Okay.
severely talented. He specializes in horror movies, but he does other stuff too. There's also a Terrifier 2 one that he made us too. It's over
Oh,
there.
that is awesome.
Yeah, they are so incredible. I
It's
love
so
them.
detailed.
Yes, he's very, very talented. He's the best. He's the best.
I'll have to check it out. Does he sell at conventions or anything?
Yes, yes.
Okay.
I don't know which specific ones, but I do know he got does the Monster Manias because I'm pretty sure that's the last time one of the last times I saw him. But he does, yes, he does do conventions. He's
Okay.
awesome. He's
That is
awesome.
really cool. I'll have to check it out.
Yeah,
Well,
definitely.
thank you so much for joining me today. Um,
Thank you for having me.
you know, I had no idea about the musical part of you. You know, I saw, the press release. I was thumbing through everything. I was like, wow, you're only 18 years old and you've done so much more than 30-year-olds. I mean, like, it's just amazing to me that you started so young with your music and with your interview. The interviewing is just that blows me away that you started so young, because that's not something. It can be nerve-wracking. How old
Oh,
were you when you did your first one?
I was like, I think 8 or 9 years old, but
Wow.
you mentioned nerve wracking. It
Yeah.
definitely was. But I think I'm finally starting to get used to it. Like after all
Yeah.
these years, starting to get just a sense of just to relax, chill out, man. You're all good. Um but like the James Hetfield interview, that was one of the most nerve-wracking experiences of my entire life. I would be sitting there before the interview, they had us in the waiting room and the nerves were like
I bet.
like it was ridiculous. And the same thing happened for the very last Terrifier audition because it was at the producer's house.
I bet.
So I get that. I feel that nerves.
And how do you pull people in for interviews? How do you go about contacting them?
Well, we established friends and connections
Mm,
over a long time, but my very first interview was Ben Wyman from Dillinger Escape Plan. He was one of my first interviews, and I also did Nightbirds. But Ben Wyman is the guitarist of Dillinger, and he was our friend. He was our
wow.
good friend, and we've known him for a while. And he said, of course I'll do the interview, and it kind of all started from there. But my dad was responsible for hooking up a lot of those interviews because he went on the grind, going, sending it to PR companies, saying
Yeah.
who we are, or whatever. Um, because I was like, like I said, I was 9 years old.
Yeah.
I wouldn't know where to start with that. But
Yeah.
so I owe a lot to him for helping getting all those set up at those at the yeah yes
That that is really, I love that. Like, it's kind of like a family ordeal, just
yes
that is really something.
yeah,
And
Little Punk People
yeah.
is a family thing, and we have my mom. It all started with my mom's art, so
Wow.
it's full on family ordeal, like you're saying.
because I heard it was a family brand, but I wasn't 100% sure. But I think that is awesome to know that it is, and that everybody's involved in some way, shape, or form. Like
Yeah.
your dad, the PR, your mom with the artwork. I mean, that is really something.
Yeah, thank you. We've all worked very, very hard.
Do you all have the same taste in music, you and your family, or is
Yes, my parents are the ones that got me into all this type of
okay?
music. They've gotten me into all because they have a wide range of tastes.
Yeah.
My mom is huge on the goth, new wave, alternative,
Okay.
like that stuff. That's what got me into that. And my dad, huge metalhead. And then over the years, they started showing me more bands that are more alternative, indie,
Yeah.
whatever. And that's kind of where I get my inspiration from for my own music.
That is awesome. And then, what was the first instrument that you learned to play on, or how many do you know how many do you actually know?
I know right now, I know really one, and that is
Okay,
the guitar. A
nice.
tiny bit of keyboard because
Yeah,
but I'm not like an actual pianist where I'm like at all.
yeah, yeah,
But I just press like stuff like that. But the very first instrument I did learn was the piano when I was really, really young. I took lessons and then I forgot them all
yeah.
over the years because that was when I was really, really young. But the first instrument I really, really, really wanted to learn was guitar, full on, full on guitar nerd over here.
Yeah. That is awesome. It looks like it's paying off because you have your album coming out September 1st. So what can you tell me about that?
All I can tell you is that well, we have a single that is released, and that's the title track, "End of Ways." And if you like a song like that, you're gonna absolutely dig this new album. It's basically the first one, which is "What's Wrong," but I just went full on in with the songwriting. I felt like I've definitely gotten better at music
Yeah,
and writing music. What's Wrong was kind of just me messing around on guitar or whatever, and messing around with Logic Pro, which is the software I use.
yeah,
And then this album, I was like, I really want to try, and I really, for sure, I don't want to disappoint any fan of my music with this
yeah.
album. I want to exceed their expectations, and I feel like I've definitely done the job. But this one has more instruments. There's piano on it that's done by my friend Jeremy Bennett. There is violins, like actual violins, not like keyboard violins I mess around with, but and it sounds really good. We got a real drummer on it. And this was I went to the studio for this album, but there's still a mixture of some songs that were recorded at home with my at home setup because I didn't want to be like full on studio. And even the
Yeah.
studio songs, they're not like overly produced. I wanted to try my best to still get that raw vibe of what I've been going for.
And that first video you mentioned, I believe you said it was "What's Wrong."
Yeah.
That's one that's on YouTube right now, correct?
What's Wrong is the first album, but the
First out.
YouTube
Okay.
video, the one I think you're talking about, the music video, that is the title
Yes.
track, "End of Ways."
And that's the one that's coming out September 1st.
Yes, that's the album. The album is coming.
Okay, gotcha.
It's a little confusing because we released the
No,
title track, but then the album's coming out September 1st.
were you involved with filming that at all? Because
Yes.
that video
Yeah.
came, I watched it. It was beautiful. It was beautifully
Thank
shot.
you. Thank you so much. I
Um,
appreciate that. And of course the girl in that video is Josie, who's my girlfriend. But the a lot of the stuff that we film, well, any music video that we've done so far has been with basically me and my dad going out to nature spots because we have a cool camera. We have the Canon like R6 or like R5, and we use that for all of our TikToks and stuff. But it's just us two going out with our camera, finding
yeah.
cool locations, filming, and making a video out of it.
Was that near home, that location?
Yes, so a lot of locations that I film at are just like at hiking spots
Yeah.
and cool places that we can find. Right, because we live in Jersey. So anywhere that's in Jersey, we try and find. We scope out some
Yeah.
places.
That is so awesome, man. Really, I mean, and then the song was just so subtle, it just kind of just I just kind of felt like I was just gliding through, which was nice. It wasn't like super fast paced, it wasn't super slow.
Yeah.
It just took you, and it feels like there's a message there that she was trying to hide or get away from somebody or something, just and it just it bled through. I could tell that there was a powerful message there.
Yes, and I'm very glad you caught on to that because this album is about helping a loved one get out of an abusive home. We went and saved them and got them out. We drove at like 3 a.m. and got them out, and it was not the funnest experience in dealing
Yeah,
with all that stuff, and that's what all the album is really about. So I'm very glad you were able to get that message. That's cool. That's really cool.
so this was based on a real ordeal, then something that had happened.
Yes, the
Yeah.
whole album,
Okay.
without a doubt. Yes, about something that happened. And luckily that person is not no longer in that situation, and they're
Good.
free of that, which is very, very beautiful, and definitely uh good.
That is
Definitely.
well, that. Yeah. Yeah, most definitely. I mean, that's all. A happy ending is always a good thing.
Yeah,
I love hearing about that. And then it just and doing something that's happened or you experienced, the music, the video, it just that much more powerful because it means that much more to you. And you can definitely see that come
yeah.
through. So
Thank you.
that's great.
I really appreciate that. And
Yeah.
once again, very glad you're able to
Yeah.
get that message from it from the video.
Yeah, it was definitely there. And I haven't watched this yet. I have young nephews. I don't know if they're watching. I'm definitely going to recommend it. Get Rolling with Otis on Apple TV.
Yes, and Get Rolling with Otis, I play the Rooster Sal, and uh, I'll give a little sneak peek of the voice if you haven't heard it. It's a cartoon for kids,
Yeah,
um, but it's cock-a-doodle doo. I'm Sal the Rooster, fluttering feathers, like stuff like that,
yeah,
and it's a cute show, and I love the animation on it, and it's about just basically helping people, which is kind of what I'm here to do, what I want to do with my life. I want to help people through art. I want to be a force for good.
yeah.
Um, so it's kind of it's very fun and it's very sweet.
I love that. It definitely does sound that way. And is the whole season available now, or is it just a few episodes?
Yes, yes, it's on Apple TV.
Very good.
Plus,
And then we got to talk about Terrifier 2.
yes, you do. I'm
Definitely.
down. I'm down.
So, how did that happen for you? How did you get involved with Terrifier 2? I know you said you auditioned. Was it a normal audition process? How did you find out about it?
I have a talent agent for acting, but this one, my MVP family came in, and my dad was looking on a website called Actors Access. We
Okay.
do that in a while just to look, and we saw Terrifier 2, and we've been fans of the first one forever. We're like, oh my god, Terrifier 2, we love Terrifier, we love our
Yeah.
clown. So we basically sent what we did was we sent a headshot of me for that, and then they said Jason Levy and Michael Levy, who were the producers, showed it to Damien, and Damien was like, "That's exactly the type of kid we're looking for." So then I did an audition, in person audition. It was a self tape first, I think. Yeah, it was a self tape. Basically filmed it at home. Then did an in person audition. That's when that was very, very nerve wracking, and that was with Lauren. We did scenes with me as Jonathan and her as Sienna right there. And then we didn't hear back for weeks. And it's like, oh man, I thought I
Ooh,
did a great
yeah,
job.
that's got to be nerve
And
wracking.
then,
Not hearing back.
yeah, and then all of a sudden we got another self tape where it was scream tests. Like I would be tests of me screaming and stuff.
Yeah.
And then another final audition. It was at the producer's house. Basically the whole thing was that I was basically too tall. They wanted a kid that was younger and
Yeah.
shorter than me, because it was seen as a little brother. And as you can see in the backdrop there, I'm like about the same height as her
Yeah.
in that shot. But what they did instead is they just added the lines in that one scene, where it's me and Sienna talking about her costume. She says, "Wow, you've grown up. You've gotten so tall." And I say, "Tallest kid in my class."
Yeah.
That's why that line is there, is because I got tall, but they really liked my acting and it worked out. And I've been grateful for every moment, and every reminder of Terrifier I can get. And as you can see, well, you can't see over there. I have a giant Terrifier 2 poster.
As you should. I love it. And I'm sure this has opened up, or it's going to open up doors for you. I mean, this was a big hit in the horror community, the indie film. I mean, it did so well.
Yeah, and like I'll forever be grateful. I'll forever be grateful of the fans. Terrifier fans are some of the most loyal, passionate horror fans I've seen, and I mean horror fans in general. I will always be fan friendly because I am a horror nerd myself, and I love talking about horror movies and going to these conventions and meeting all these people. It's truly a beautiful experience, and I will never take this for granted. Uh, any project Damien wants me in, I'll do it. The lowest price, I don't care. Terrifier 3, I'm down, which I will be in Terrifier 3. Yeah, and I cannot wait to get to be on set. It's gonna be
I love
fun.
it. It sounds like you'll never forget where you came from, and I love hearing stories about that. That is really awesome.
I will never forget, and I'll never take this life for granted.
And you mentioned the convention circuit. Do you remember signing your first autograph and what that felt like?
It was definitely very surreal.
Yeah.
Because I grew up going to all these horror cons because my
Mhm.
mom we were vendors. My mom sold her art
Yeah.
at horror cons. So to sign my first autograph, it was definitely weird. Like I haven't still to this day right now. I don't. I haven't fully wrapped my head around it at all. Like I haven't
Yeah.
realized it yet, but it's definitely been a crazy, wild experience. But my first con was at Oaksville, Pennsylvania, right? And I was from Monster Mania, and that's where I met my girlfriend. That's where
Wow. Okay.
she was a Terrifier fan and a fan of my music. And I gave her, I think, a free autograph and a shirt or something. And then down the line, she messaged me on Facebook, and then, but I didn't have Facebook Messenger. She
Yeah.
messaged my dad afterwards, and then I got Facebook Messenger and started talking to her, etc. And then we grew to really like each other, and it was really cool.
That's good. I follow you on Instagram and I can definitely tell there's that unique that connection that you're describing. And
Thank
good
you.
for her for that persistence for messaging your dad.
Yeah,
You know?
yeah, definitely. She told me that she already had a crush on me before she
Yeah,
even met me. But it was definitely I give her without a doubt a lot of credit for that. A
yeah.
lot of distance, and I love her. I love her. I love my girl.
That is awesome. I love hearing those stories. See, there's horror, there's romance and horror,
Yeah, yeah.
it's in there, it's embedded, but yeah, you can find it.
Yes, yeah.
That's
True.
great. And I know you said you have Terrifier 3 coming up in the near future. Is there anything else you're working on or
Well, I do have another project I'm gonna begin filming soon. It's called The Pitchfork Retreat. Danielle Harris is in it, Tony Todd, Dee Wallace, Adrienne
wow,
Barbeau. And it's gonna be fun. It's SAG approved.
very
For
good. Yeah.
and I cannot wait to begin filming for that. It's exciting. It's definitely exciting. I don't know how much I'm allowed to say about it.
Yeah, no,
Um,
of course.
because any spoilers or anything, but it's got a cool script, and I think it's gonna be fun.
That is great. Any conventions coming up for you?
Yes, this coming weekend I'm gonna be in North Carolina at Mad Monster Party. It's gonna be very, very fun. I got Minnesota Crypticon coming up.
Another good
Uh,
one.
yeah, I've got a lot of horror cons. It's been a lot because fans are been loving Terrifier. I have For the Love of Horror, and that is in the UK. So that's gonna be very, very fun.
Yeah.
Um, and I'm sure I'm missing one right now. Um, but any horror con, I will post in my stories on
Okay.
Instagram, or I, I'll let you all know now. I'll
Yeah.
be at the horror con.
And we'll link everything and in our article and in the in the
Oh,
description, because you have, like I said, there's so much you've done. There's so much out there for people to check out. Instagram, your
you-
YouTube channel, especially. I mean, and just some of these. I want to go back and look at some of these older interviews that you did. That is just rad, because I think of like my nephew. I think of my goddaughter. She's 10, and I might be able to see. I could probably see her interviewing someone, but it's just like
yeah,
I just mind boggling, and it's amazing. And just
thank
keep doing
you.
what you're doing, because you're never gonna know unless you try, and I firmly believe that. And you're doing it, and it's great, and you're putting out some great content, and it's inspiring. So
Thank
just
you so
keep
much.
with it.
I truly appreciate it. And like you said, and one thing I will always believe in is you have to try it,
Yeah.
like might as well try. You miss all the shots you don't shoot. I know I without a doubt I that's not the correct phrase, but it's something like that.
No, it makes
Um,
sense.
but it you have to go for it. And whether it's acting, whether it is music, whether it's content, uh, definitely go for it for sure.
Love it. We'll go ahead and we'll end with that. That's perfect ending for us. And thank you again so much. I mean, there's
Thank
so much
you.
more to talk about. Hopefully, when Terrifier 3 comes out, we'll be doing this again.
I'm down.
Or
I'm
that
down.
or that next album.
I'm down. I got down. And I had a good time talking to you. It's been fun.
Great time. Thank you again, and best of luck. And hopefully, I'll see you at a con here real soon.
Yeah, yeah. Best of luck to you and I hope to see you soon.
Thank you. You take care.
You too. Have a good one.